So we're all familiar with the Pareto principle, which is that in a typical scenario, 80% of the impact comes from only 20% of the effort. The principle is most often cited in the context of reminding us not to try and work on too many things at once. And we've all used Pareto charts where opportunities are listed in order of descending value to focus our attention on the precious few large opportunities at the top of the list and avoid wasting time on the small stuff at the bottom. However, I've noticed that few of us have actually ever closely examined one of our Pareto charts to check whether it adheres to Pareto's rule. What if your Pareto is actually flatter than 80-20 or steeper? And what could this mean for the outcome of your endeavors? Now, the thinking I'm about to share could be applied to any endeavor where finite resources must be distributed amongst too many competing priorities. It could be deploying your sales team to pursue a list of prospective customers. It could be allocating capital dollars to a list of potential projects, anything like this. In this case, I'm going to share a context from my world of manufacturing, which is to imagine you have a plant leadership team that's pursuing cost reductions in order to achieve some sort of annual business objective. Let's imagine they have a $5 million cost savings target and they've developed a list of 50 opportunities whose total estimated value is $10 million. This situation is pretty representative of many manufacturing plants that I've had the privilege to work with, and I hope it has some resonance with you too, where first an aggressive goal for cost reduction is set, in this case to achieve a savings run rate of $5 million per year. Next, the plant team goes through an exhaustive process to come up with a pipeline of as many ideas and opportunities as possible. In companies with a strong continuous improvement focus, this pipeline may be a living document that caters to cost reduction initiatives year after year. Now, you know you can't stop until you have more dollars in the pipeline than the savings target, so you wind up with quite a long list. In this case, we have 50 items, which is many more than we can work on at once or even get done within the year. But they total $10 million of potential value, which is double what we need. This is where the steepness of our Pareto becomes very important. Imagine our Pareto was dead flat, with all 50 items being worth $200,000. I'm going to call this an 80-80 Pareto, where 80% of the opportunities represent 80% of the value. We'd have to realize the full potential of 25 of these opportunities in order to achieve the $5 million goal. It's highly unlikely we'd be able to do this within the year whilst we're also busy running the plant. What about an 80-50 Pareto, where 50% of the opportunities comprise 80% of the value? In this case, we'd need to capture the full value of the top 12 opportunities. For our classic 80-20 Pareto, we'd need the full value of the top 5, and for a steeper than usual 80-10 Pareto, we'd only need to realize the top 2 or 3 opportunities to achieve the goal. Now, bigger opportunities may take more time and effort to realize than smaller ones, but as you can see from the two extreme cases, we'd be much more likely to hit our $5 million goal by only having to work on 2 or 3 projects than we would trying to successfully complete 25 of them. So in general, the steeper your Pareto, the better. A big challenge for successful manufacturing plants is that after years of cost reduction initiatives, it can seem like all the big opportunities were captured long ago and only small incremental ones are left, preparing the ground perfectly for a very flat Pareto. Living with a seemingly flat Pareto is a huge headwind to driving improvement, and if a breakthrough in performance is needed, then either the organization must become exceptional at doing 25 things at once, a feat few of us have ever seen or experienced, or the Pareto must be steepened somehow by either identifying new, more valuable opportunities and/or by discovering additional hidden value within the known opportunities. But before you go down that road, first determine whether you even have a problem in the first place by measuring how steep your Pareto is today. Do you have a classic 80-20 or a flat 80-50, a steep 80-10, or some other point in between? You can drop your pipeline of up to 100 opportunities into this Google Sheet template I've made, and it will indicate how steep your Pareto is. And if you have any questions or feedback, please don't hesitate to reach out.